I worked with the Meadowthorpe School to bring some of this material forward. 30 seconds of it was, and it's a little PSA that illustrates the point about pollution and stormwater.
If stormwater pollution were simply rubber duckies, it would not matter what went down our storm drains. But it does.
Because stormwater pollution is not rubber duckies. It's trash, oil, cigarette butts, and pet waste flowing untreated into our streams and rivers.
So take a minute for clean water. Rake up, sweep up, and pick up. Cleaner streets mean cleaner water for all of us in Kentucky.
Let's start by keeping the pirates out of our streams.
The next video is a reality check for Lexington. You know, they've got the PSA that has the talking manhole. Who's seen the talking manhole on Channel 3? Anyone? Very few people, but it's there. And it's supposed to go to the point of trash gets in our stream. Well, the next movie clip is trash is getting in our stream. Let's see what Town Branch looks like when it's flowing out from downtown Lexington. And if you like basketball, there's one. Okay, that's it. We definitely have trash in the stream, and that was the surface. We don't know what's going on underneath. There's a lot of trash and dirt that's getting into our stream. There's nothing to intercept it and keep it out of the streams. And per the program, it's not yet required, which is an interesting point, but that's for a different day. Lexington's starting to recognize this. You'll see on Vine Street, on Limestone, and on Main Street these features. And they are little rain gardens. Water from the street goes into this garden, and the trash is to collect in there. There's an overflow that goes into the storm drain system. This particular one is stopped up right now because the trash stopped right there and blocked the flow of water. But that's a different issue. That's something the city has to deal with. I want to spend a minute also talking about the sanitary sewer system. You may say, why? We're here to talk about stormwater, right? Rain barrels? Well, there is a relationship regarding the sanitary sewer system and potential for pollution of our stormwater. First of all, the sanitary sewer system is the system that takes the water out of our houses. It goes to every house. Kitchen, bathroom, the lines, you can find them in the street in this neighborhood because the system was put in the 70s after the streets were built, and they had these cracks that you see up the center of the street are what are called reflection cracks. That's where the sewer is. This map shows the extent of the sanitary sewer system. It goes up every street. It's kind of hard to tell, but the sanitary sewers, and they run down to the Town Branch wastewater plant. This is a photograph aerial of the Town Branch wastewater plant. All of the sanitary sewage goes to it from this part of town. There's another wastewater plant over in West Hick. So as it pertains to the sanitary sewage system, some of the issues that we need to be aware of, the first one I want to highlight is what I call fog. And this is not the morning dew. This is fats, oils, and grease. This pipe is 3/4 of the way clogged with grease. And it comes from our cooking, including the oil. That's not conducive to treatment, and it clogs up our pipes. So the advice about fats, oils, and grease, A, keep it out of the sanitary sewer system. Don't pour it down the sink. The first method is to, if it's grease, put it in a can, put a top on it, freeze it, throw it in the trash. We in Meadowthorpe have another option emerging, and that is Joe Collins at the Meadowthorpe Cafe has offered to allow us to take our oil especially to his business, put it in his grease pot at the back. If you do that, check in with Joe, he'll give you a free drink. But there's a place, especially if you get into deep frying for the holidays and you've got all this oil, you want to know what to do with it, take it to Joe, put it in his grease pot, and he'll haul it off and put it into a recycling concern. Another issue with the sanitary sewer system is breaks in the sanitary sewer system. Now this is a test that's being performed. What you see coming out of a storm drain is smoke, indicating that this is during the test. They take smoke and pump it into the sanitary system to see where it comes out, to find leaks where stormwater would get in the sanitary system. Once this happens, then the city has to track down that leak and seal it. Another part of this is sub pumps, taking groundwater, taking water from rain and running it into the sanitary system. That's a no-no. So sump pump water really should go in the yard and not the street, not the sanitary sewer system if possible. I think the city's rethinking their sump pump program and it's on hold right now. Broken sanitary sewer lateral pipes, the pipe that goes from the main sewer pipe to your house. If it breaks, water gets in and that goes into the wastewater plant. The thing about the fats, oils, and grease is when those pipes clog, sewer backs up, sewage will overflow into the streets, and that becomes then a source of stormwater pollution. When these pipes break, stormwater gets in, it adds to the treated water in the wastewater treatment plant. Getting back to Town Branch, what water goes in there? This photograph shows the last step of treatment at the wastewater plant. It looks pretty nice. Goes to what Don was saying. Why can't we reuse that? It looks real good. It's got high quality, relatively speaking. This is a photograph of the storm drain flapper. Stormwater comes out that end. This is the sanitary outfall. Now this map, this graphic is a graphic of the streams of Fayette County, and these red lines indicate that the stream is not meeting the expectations of the Division of Water. Specifically for Town Branch, organic enrichment. Organic enrichment comes from yard waste, too many leaves, and you say, well, leaves are natural, they come off the trees, what's the problem with them? If they're in the forest, that's fine, but they fall on the forest floor and they don't move. When they're on the streets and the rain hits and moves them into the storm drain, they get into the stream and there's more organic material from our vegetation than the stream can handle. It causes a depletion of oxygen through the bacteria that consume that organic matter. Nutrients grow algae, clog the streams. Where do the nutrients come from? They come from maintaining our yards with too much fertilizer. If you put more on than is needed, it rains, it washes into the stormwater, it gets into the stream. That algae in the daytime will make oxygen, but at night it respires and it takes oxygen away and it clogs the streams. And the last impairment for Town Branch is bacteria. The main source, I think, of bacteria is pet waste not being picked up. Not from human waste because we've got the sanitary system everywhere. It's more from pets and animals where the bacteria is coming from. How can we reduce our stormwater problems? Install and maintain rain barrels. Consider a rain garden. Consider native plants in your landscape. Attend our workshops. Do not litter. If you see someone littering, friendly reminder, because if it's on the ground, it gets in your water. Fats, oil, and grease, not in sewers. Place your leaves, we're coming up on the fall time of year, on the utility strip, not in the street. I promised to share this with you. This is our stormwater fee, $4.32. Generates $13 million per year. 10% of that is redirected back to the community in incentive grants. This program got one of those grants. $30 million over a period of years is directed towards flood improvement projects. And a portion of that money is to relieve the city from its administrative burden. They were paying for the staff out of the general fund. When the fee came on board, they moved those folks onto the fee. I don't have anything more detailed than that for you. If you're interested, we can probably find out. I think at this point, given the time, I'm going to end and not repeat the questions that we've already answered. We've got those for the beginning. Questions?
You said the sewer line was put in the 70s.
What's the question?
The sewer was put in the 70s?
Yes.
I mean, we were all on septic tanks before that?
We were on septic tanks before that, and you may or may not still have that old septic tank in your yard. I've heard stories, and
2 sewer lines leaving my basement, and that was...
one may be the septic tank system. Yes, because when they hooked up to the sewer, it may not have been convenient to take the existing system and route it to the street, so they may have rerouted and added and left the old one back there. Now, it's interesting, septic tanks could present an opportunity, but they may not. I've heard that they got filled up with rock, and if they did get filled up with rock, it would be a chore. But if you cleaned out a septic tank, what have you got? A drain field, a place to put your excess stormwater.
Yeah, I've got a drain back and it drains into the septic tank. So
Yeah. And if that's relatively clean stormwater, that's a way to keep it out of the streets, out of the storm drain system.